go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then. Where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour Live, y'all. We are here to talk about Brittany Eady versus Truly Original and Bravo. The lawsuit has been filed. I have the court documents. Shout out to the one, the only Document Ting. Shout out to him, a great brother, a great content creator, great individual, doing great things in the neighborhood. So let's get into it. Higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have all of you here. So I got the documents. Let's make it do what it do, because there's a lot to discuss. Hello, Damien. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. All right, here we go, everybody. So here is the introduction, everybody. Hello, Cassandra Durham. Welcome in. Here's the introduction, everybody. This case concerns defendant's grotesque sexual harassment of plaintiff Brittany Eady, a castmate on season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. In June of 2024, Eady was the victim of the castmate's brazen attempt at so-called revenge P. Specifically, the castmate published to a group of hundreds of live onlookers, including defendant's cameras, a photograph of a woman engaged in a graphic sex act and told the audience the woman was Eady. Yes, indeed. Defendants immediately knew castmates' behavior was atrocious and wrong, and that Eady had no reason to expect anything like it. The other castmates that were present were horrified and left the event immediately. An unsurprising reaction, given that nothing similar had ever occurred on Real Housewives before. Defendants even made the unprecedented decision to suspend the offending castmate this season because of it. Yet, despite initially recognizing the depravity of the castmate's sexual harassment of Eady and in the face of Eady's repeat protestations, defendants ultimately made the disgusting decision to leverage at Eady's great expense. They pressured Eady to discuss the incident and her sexual history on camera and in front of her own mother, no less. And when Eady pushed back and invoked her legal rights, they retaliated against her. Rather than protect Eady from the harmful effects of her co-worker sexual harassment, defendants chose to amplify the event and repeatedly re-traumatize Eady with it over months. Defendants traded on the graphically sexualized nature of the events to coerce Eady into traumatic workplace discussions of her life's most intimate sexual moments. This was not Real Housewives as usual. It was sexual harassment and it was retaliation. And Eady brings up this case to hold defendants to account for their horrific behavior. Number two, the graphic art on graphic photo at issue appeared to depict a woman performing fellatio on an unidentified man. It was presented to a group about 200 live onlookers by fellow castmate on the show King of Revenge P. Moore. I'm sorry. Damn it, Bray, that's not in her name. Jesus Christ. Read. Moore represented to the audience, and the audience believed that the woman in the photograph was Eady, but it was not a fact. Eady did not come to learn until nearly a year later. Moore and Eady were at the time embroiled in an interpersonal dispute in the presentation of the photograph, which is a classic attempt at Revenge P, otherwise known as non-consensual intimate image sharing. Revenge P has of late garnered significant attention nationwide due to its proliferation, leading to laws around the country punishing its use, including under federal, New York, and Georgia law. In attendance at the event were nearly a dozen of the defendants' camera people who had been filming for content to air on the show and that had captured Moore's presentation of the graphic video, or photo rather. Defendants knew immediately that Moore's presentation of that photo was beyond the pale, hugely improper, and well beyond the show standards, expectations, and state sexual harassment policies. Indeed, just a week after the event, i.e. a year before they made any decision whether to air the events on the show, defendants conducted an internal investigation into Moore's conduct, which led them to suspend Moore from the show. Further, Eady repeatedly informed defendants of her view that Moore's conduct was harassing and unlawful, that she intended to seek legal relief. Despite the defendants' immediate appreciation, the presentation of the graphic photo was improper and beyond the bounds of the show standards or any workplace. However, defendants made the decision at the heart of this lawsuit. They decided to leverage Moore's attempt at Revenge P at Eady's great expense. Specifically over Eady's persistent objection, they pressured Eady to discuss the incident and her sexual history with the show's producers in front of the show's cameras. They sought to gaslight Eady into thinking it was in her interest to discuss these highly personal sexual issues. They told her it could be just like the Kardashian sex tape. Oh, Jesus, just... The fact that the producers told her that she could be the next Kim K, it's like, I will say Kim K has definitely turned corners from that sex tape, but somebody should be more than their sex tape. Just keep it a buck. Meaning Eady should use this hypersexualized exposure to further obtain publicity for herself. They said in some and substance that she should get it all out and take control of the narrative, because the better we get this out, the better the fans will understand and have empathy for you. When Eady pushed back and said she wanted no part of this, defendants effectively said she did not discuss the incident on camera. She would face less and potentially no camera time, maybe lose on pay. At first, Eady relented to this enormous pressure and ultimately discussed her most intimate, personal, and sexual moments with the defendants and in front of their cameras. Defendants thereafter chose to air many of these discussions to the world again, despite the recognition that Moore's conduct was beyond their show standards, expectations, and policies. All the while, defendants continually rejected Eady's efforts to investigate the incident herself, even refusing to allow her to see the photograph that Moore presented, which would have revealed to Eady that the photograph was not even her and or that was a deep fake. Oh, so King of Revenge P. Moore is just a more famous version of Milagro Grams. Got it. Of course. Why did I think of that? Oh, wait, I just did. Then defendants twisted the knife, another grotesque display of sexual harassment and retaliation. They told Eady they were planning to invite Moore back to the show for the following season. That Eady wanted to be on the show next season would mean that she would have to do it alongside Moore, her harasser. You know, it's giving me a season where somebody who just came back to RHOA, who was it? Now, it was a woman that lied on another woman, that woman drugged a woman and raped her in her dungeon. I'm trying to think who that was. Oh, that was Phaedra Parks. Moving on. Enough was enough. Shortly thereafter, Eady announced that she would not be returning to the show. No one would dispute that the Real Housewives franchise trades on drama and often highly interpersonal drama. It has never traded on this type of graphic sexual drama before, for obvious reasons. It is disgusting beyond pale and illegal. No one signing up to appear on the Real Housewives would expect it, and Eady certainly did not. Defendants have no immunity from sexual harassment and anti-retaliation prohibitions, and their conduct unquestionably fits within them. Eady brings this action under those laws, and the law prohibited intentional infliction of emotional distress, breach of contract, and negligence to hold defendants accountable for their unlawful and justifiable actions. All right. So, with that being said, that was the introduction. Felt like it was a very strong introduction, basically just stating the facts of the case that Eady was on the 60th season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, so was Kenya Moore, and the magnitude of that event, right, was very horrific. And watching it, I was ashamed, disgusted, and beside myself with their behavior, for sure. And like I said, Kenya Moore tried to move away rather from the magnitude of what she did. She went on Instagram Live and said, I'm gonna wait till 100,000 people show up there, I'm gonna say something, but she never ended up saying anything. Then she did the Kenya Moore Confessions on her YouTube channel, right? And everybody remembers that because I saw the post. I don't know why I screenshot it, but I felt like it was gonna go away. So posted that, talked about it, and then Kenya Moore came on for 1 minute and like 30 seconds. Everybody was pissed. I mean, everybody was pissed. Even Team Twirl was pissed, right? And so then when she finally came out with her confessions video, it was what it was. It was about, 300 people over here. So it was quite a lot of people. So, yes, indeed. So we're going to be here to read all the documents or as much as we can. I want to make sure that with these documents, we are reading them for what it is. Of course, we're giving commentary. But if you want legal analysis, go with people who do this legally, like just Jonda. She is great. I'm talking about this from a social and media point of view, right? Because that's what we do over here. We cover what's happening in the culture in real time. And I'm proud of Brittany Eady for standing up for herself. Kenya Moore deserves to be penniless, destitute, and she deserves everything that's coming to her. Now, we want Brooklyn to be okay. Okay, we want Brooklyn to be okay. We want Brooklyn to be okay. Kenya Moore, fuck her. Yeah, nobody's going, and no Team Twirl's going to do shit. Because I remember when I was in Diana Rose's chat, and I challenged Team Twirl. Nobody who went back and forth with me and Diana Rose's chat has come over to this channel and said, I'm sorry, Bray, you were right, because they know it's wrong. Like I said, Team Twirl accept revenge P behavior. And then Kenya Moore wants to get on social media like somebody gives a fuck about her opinion and is talking about the Ultimate Girls Trip. Like, you're not relevant. The fuck? I can't. All right, y'all, here we go. Okay, there we go. Awesome. This court has subject matter jurisdiction over this action pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1332 because the amount in controversy exceeds $75,000 and is between citizens of different states. This court has jurisdiction over each of the defendants because each of their principal place of business is in New York, and or does business on contentious and systematic basis in New York. This court also has jurisdiction over defendants because they each transact business in New York and commit a tort in New York, and Eady's claims arise from such transacting of business in New York and a commission of tort in New York. Venue is proper in this court because each defendant resides in this district, and because each is subject to personal jurisdiction here, and because a substantial part of the events or omissions giving rise to Eady's claims occurred in this district. This action arises out of a sexual harassment dispute, and Eady elects to invalidate any potentially applicable pre-dispute arbitration agreement. So the parties, according to Brittany Eady, was a cast member of season 16 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, is a woman and is a domiciliary of the state of Georgia. Thus, for the purposes of permanent diversity, Eady says Georgia. Defendant Truly Original LLC is a media production company with its principal place of business in New York, known for the production of unscripted reality television series. On the information and belief, Defendant Truly's sole member is Endemol USA or Endemol Shine, North America Holding, which is incorporated under the laws of Delaware, has a principal place of business in California. Thus, for the purposes of determining diversity, defendant is a citizen of Delaware and California. Defendant Bravo Media LLC is a cable television network with its principal place of business in New York. More information and belief, Defendant Bravo's sole member is Bravo Holding LLC, whose member is NBC Rainbow Holding LLC. NBC Rainbow Holding LLC has three members: NBC Stations Management Second LLC, whose sole member is NBC Station Management LLC. NBC Station Management LLC, whose sole member is NBC Universal Media LLC, which is discussed as Infra, is a citizen of California, Delaware, and Pennsylvania for the purposes of diversity. NBC Cable Entertainment Holding LLC, whose sole member is NBC Universal Media LLC, which, as discussed, Infra is a citizen of California, Delaware, and Pennsylvania for purposes of diversity. Thus, for purposes of diversity, Defendant Bravo is a citizen of California, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. Information and belief, NBC Universal Media LLC's sole number is NBC Universal LLC, which has 7 members: Comcast Navy Acquisition LLC, Comcast Navy Contribution LLC, NBC Universal Enterprise, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place of business in Pennsylvania. Comcast DW Holding Incorporated, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place in Georgia. Comcast CCW Holdings LLC, Comcast Snap Holdings LLC, and SNL Entertainment Holdings LLC, which is Saturday Night Live, by the way, everybody, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place in Pennsylvania. More information and belief, the members of Comcast CCW Holdings LLC and Comcast Snap Holdings LLC are Comcast Navy Acquisition LLC and Comcast Snap Holdings Incorporated, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place of business in Pennsylvania, and the sole member of Comcast Navy Acquisition LLC is Comcast Corporation, which is incorporated in Pennsylvania, has a principal place of business in California. On information and belief, Comcast Navy Acquisition LLC has 7 members: Comcast Sports Net England Holdings LLC, Comcast Sports Net Philadelphia Holdings LLC, First Holdings LLC, Comcast CHC LLC, Comcast Contribution Holdings LLC, and E Holdings for the E Network, which has been spun off into Versant, which is a separate company from NBC Universal, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place of business in Pennsylvania. More information and belief, the members of Comcast Sportsnet New England Holdings LLC are Comcast Sportsnet NE Holdings, that's New England Holdings Incorporated, which is incorporated in Delaware, has a principal place of business in Pennsylvania, and CSNNC Partner LLC, whose sole member is Comcast Holdings Corporation, which is incorporated in Pennsylvania and has its principal place of business in Pennsylvania. The members of Comcast Sports Net Philadelphia Holdings LLC are Comcast Holdings Corporation and Comcast Spectator Holding Company LLC, whose sole member is Comcast Holdings Corporation, and the members of Versus Holdings LLC are Comcast Holdings Corporation and E Holdings LLC. The sole member of Comcast CHC LLC is Comcast Holdings Corporation, and the sole member of Comcast Contribution Holdings LLC is Comcast Corporation. Thus, for the purposes of determining diversity, defendant NBC Universal Media LLC is a citizen of California, Delaware, Pennsylvania. So, with all that being said, that's just telling you the web and how connected this web is. Like I said, when we have viewed the media, map of who owns what, it is a very huge map. And we look at that map through Evan Shapiro. So let's get into the statement of facts. Here we go. Okay, good. So, right, your statement of facts: the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Real Housewives is a franchise of reality television programs that feature cast of prominent women in various cities. The programs follow the social lives, dealings, and the relationships of cast members, and often focus on interpersonal drama between cast members. While arguments between cast members are common, the tenor of the franchise is generally lighthearted and depicts the lives of women who lead glamorous lives. As a general matter, the show's context is not sexualized or graphic in nature. Despite the show's use of the term housewives described as cast members, the women featured on the show often have prominent careers that feature heavily on the show. For information and belief, the Real Housewives franchise premiered in or around March of 2006. Real Housewives of Atlanta, ROA is a reality television series within the Housewives franchise that follows a cast of women based in Atlanta, Georgia. ROA is produced by Defendant Truly and airs on Defendant Bravo Television Network and also streams the next day on Peacock. Defendants Truly and Bravo retain casting agencies to find out audition participants to appear on ROA. More information and belief, ROA premiered in or around 2008. Defendants Truly and Bravo exert a high degree of control over the actions of producers on its programs, including ROA, regardless of whether the producers are employees, agents, and or contractors of defendants. Now, for those of you who don't know, ABC Universal recently released people from their NDAs because you guys remember Bethany Frankel trying to team up with SAG-AFTRA to create a reality television show union and everything that happened with that. No update on that as of now, but that did happen. Okay. Defendants actively pursued Brittany Eady to become a ROA cast member. Prior to her appearance on ROA, Eady was a prominent and successful businesswoman in Atlanta. She previously modeled and appeared in music videos or video vixen. At all relevant times, ran insurance business for high-end luxury clients and coached others in the insurance industry. In 2021, a friend of Eady's who had appeared on different Real Housewives franchise referred her to a casting director. Eady had rarely, if ever, watched ROA, was familiar with the premise and have heard of many of cast members. Eady had multiple calls with ROA's casting director representatives from ROA casting agency, but was initially told the agency would not move forward the casting process because Eady was too young. 2 years later, however, in August 2023, a different casting agent contacted Eady by text about potential of her audition for ROA. Casting agent's outreach to Eady was unsolicited. At the time, Eady decided that she did not want to appear on ROA. In August of 2023, Eady replied to the casting agent and stated that it was not a good time for her to appear on the show because she was just starting business and was wary of the potential for bad press and reputational damage. In November of 2023, the same casting agent again reached out to Eady and asked if Eady was interested in interviewing for ROA. At this time, Eady agreed to participate in the casting process. The casting agent connected Eady to Donna Mangowitz, the casting director for ROA. More information and belief, Von Mangowitz was at all relevant times, rather an employee or agent of Divergent Content, a casting development company that specializes in unscripted content, including reality television. Information and belief, one or both defendants retained Divergent Content. 2 cast participants for season 16 of ROA and authorized Divergent Content to act as its agent and make representations to potential participants about the show, including associated talent contracts. In November 2023, Eady participated in a Zoom interview with Kayla Martinez and Karen Copeland, who, on information and belief, were all relevant times employees or agents of at least one of the defendants and were cast producers of ROA. At that interview, Eady was asked about her knowledge of the housewives, social circles, TV experience, job, relationship status, reasons for wanting to show during the show, thoughts on the cast and the show. During the November 2023 interview, Eady asked the cast and producers about the possibility of fights and drama between cast members. Eady stated that she was nervous about appearing on the show because of the potential fight amongst the cast. Martinez and Copeland stated on this Zoom call, however, that the upcoming season will be a reboot with a new vibe and more lighthearted, fun and flirty and glamorous than previous seasons. That the show was moving away from high drama content. The lies. Shout out to Candy Burrs. After Eady's initial interview, Eady was led to move forward with the casting process. In January 2024, Eady participated in an additional interview over Zoom with executive producers Lorraine Halton-Lawson, Lauren Eklund, Linda Cox, and Kamar Brasa. On information and belief at all relevant times, Halton-Lawson was employed by Defendant Truly as a special vice president of programming. On information and belief at all relevant times, Eklund was employed by Defendant Truly as the executive vice president of programming. On information and belief, At all relevant times, Cox was employed by defendant Truly on information and belief. At all relevant times, Bossa was employed by defendant Bravo. During the January 2024 interview, the above named producers asked Eady about her background, family dynamics, relationship history, and how she would interact with the other housewives. During the January 2024 interview, the above named producers also again represented to Eady that the upcoming season will be lighthearted and fun. That will be the biggest shakeup Roll has seen in its 15 years, and that was a reboot for the show. After the January 2024 interview, Eady participated in at least two additional interviews with producers Aroa. Information and belief, each producer that Eady met with was employed by one or both defendants. After the third interview, Eady was asked to participate in a chemistry test filming in February 2024. For the chemistry test filming, executives from defendants Truly and Bravo were to fly from New York City to Atlanta to meet Eady in person and spend the day filming her and her husband. Prior to the chemistry test, Eady was provided by defendant Truly agreement that will govern the terms of the chemistry test filming. The chemistry test agreement contained within the chemistry test agreement was a broad release of any and all possible past and future legal claims of any kind that in any way relate to Eady's involvement in the chemistry test. For example, the release contained within the chemistry test agreement did not carve out any intentional towards violations of workplace protection and non-discrimination laws from the release of any of claims. Rather, further, the chemistry test agreement did not contain any provision restraining defendant Truly from filming Eady while she was nude or engaged in sexual activity. So this is the thing, right? I get that this is a chemistry test to see if you have chemistry with the cast, but that should have been included without question. Yes, you're signing up for a reality show, but also too, your talent should be protected because if they're not protected, you don't have content, right? Based on the breadth of the releases in the chemistry test agreement, Eady was concerned that she would be signing away any protection she had against being intentionally harmed in the filming of the chemistry test or having her privacy violated beyond any reasonable expectation while filming. On February 21st, 2024, Von Mankiewicz texted Eady check-in. Eady responded by text, "Hey, still talking with your husband, not looking good right now because of release." Von Mankiewicz responded, "Britt, don't make the appearance release your hill to die on." Eady responded, "Have you seen a copy of the release?" Von Mankiewicz responded, "I have. It's pretty standard. Everyone has signed it to appear on camera." Von Mankiewicz also said, "Keep in mind the appearance release is not the actual contract for being on the show." Next day, Von Mankiewicz reached out again by text and wrote, "Need to know where you stand by noon tomorrow, so keep me posted." Eady responded, "I'm not comfortable signing that release due to giving up all my rights. So I understand that forfeits my opportunity with Roa. If anything changes with the new release, let me know. If not, I totally understand. I just know my heart, I know better than signing that contract." Von Mankiewicz requested to speak to Eady on the phone, to which Eady agreed. During that subsequent telephone conversation, Von Mankiewicz repeatedly pressured Eady not to back out of the audition process with Roa. Von Mankiewicz told Eady that she could not change her mind. She backed out, repeatedly emphasized that appearing on the show would lead to amazing opportunities. Listed cast members who have become famous and successful after appearing on the show, and told Eady that she would be a fan favorite. So this is the thing, right? When you think about this, just because you get told that you're a fan favorite doesn't mean the culture is going to embrace you, right? Because that's always a possibility. I'm just looking on my phone. Let's see if there's anything here. Just looking to see if anything is new, but doesn't look like it. Okay, I will book that here in a minute. Okay, awesome. So let's continue here. She told E, "Don't let this be the hill you die," while referring this to the broad release agreement they were asking her to sign due to Von Manglewitz's pressure and reassurances and the fact the chemistry test was not the final agreement that would govern E's full participation on the show. E decided to continue with the audition process, signed the agreement, and filmed the chemistry test. film the chemistry test with her husband and her mother. In around March of 2024, Eady was officially offered a role on Roa. After Eady was offered a role on Roa, she was also sent a draft talent agreement between herself and defendant True for her appearance on Roa. Eady and her attorney reviewed the talent contract carefully. With Eady informing a Roa producer, my attorney and myself have already reviewed and gone through everything by its terms. The talent agreement superseded the chemistry test agreement. The talent agreement defined the studio to mean defendant Truly and Network Bravo to mean one or more television networks or platforms, Peacock streaming platform of NBC Universal Media LLC or its related and affiliated entities, which includes defendant Bravo. The talent agreement further defined artists to Eady. Talent agreement referred to Eady's employment here under Eady's employment under this agreement. Eady's period of employment, artist employment 34 times. Under the terms of the talent agreement, the studio, i.e. Truly, defendant Truly rather, and the network, i.e. defendant Bravo, were afforded the right to exercise self-control over the time, place, and manner of Eady's work as a cast member Roa. Meanwhile, Eady was prohibited by the talent agreement from such activities, such as engaging in unscripted program with any other studio, appearing as herself in scripted programming, or promoting a brand without the network's approval, was required to hold her work for the studio as first priority during the exclusivity period. Now, I do want to say this, right? Yes, hey, my friend, good to see you. Yes, so we're talking about Brittany Eady. And so this is the thing, right? Let's just say, right, for example, that Braylon Lee's virtual tour live, right, was a now, if I wanted to do work inside it, Disney rather, ABC. If I wanted to do work inside Hulu, ESPN, I could do that, right? I could absolutely do that because it's in house. But if I wanted to work with Tubi or if I wanted to work with Audible, I would have to get permission, right? So it was not saying that Britt Eady could not, work on an NBC show. If she wanted to work on an NBC show and she wanted to be an actress, right? And she was playing somebody that's not herself, then okay, it's in house, right? If she wanted to engage in unscripted programming on NBC, okay, cool, she can do that, right? If she wanted to work with a brand that is being promoted within NBC Universal, okay, cool. If she wanted to do a film with Universal Pictures, okay, cool, it's in house. But if you want to go outside, then you have to get permission. Just a little bit of the tea behind the industry there. Let's keep going here. Let's see here. Nobly, the talent agreement stated that the studio shall not film artists while artist is engaged in sexually explicit conduct or while artist is nude. It was particularly important to Eady that the talent agreement not allow defendants to film on it her to film or air her nude without her consent, or protective provision that was not included in the earlier chemistry test agreement. Child, when Brittany Eady put those titties down on that counter, I'm like, that's a blessed counter. Jesus, I wish I was the counter. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, she did that on her own. Okay, listen, I know I know the producers, I know the camera people were like, wait a minute, is Britt actually married or is she just dating? Because I mean, listen. Let me stop. Moving on. Child. Okay. Okay. Let me see something. Give me a moment.
I could make a song from your weirdest idea. Describe the song in a few words.
Welcome. Hey, friends. What's up, friends? You said because they're trying too hard to get best. That's probably already there. I hopefully Edie learned the valuable lesson. Well, what about you? What kind of lesson is you gonna learn? Okay. Just the other day, the executive chairman of Peacock was basically saying that Kenya could possibly come back. Now, what kind of I don't know. With this lawsuit being filed on the 20th, you know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Now,
Just had to make sure of something real quick, y'all. But anyway, I think I might have read this before, but still, I'm reading it again, either for the first time or the second time. Either way, I'm reading it again because Bravo truly is trying to dismiss this lawsuit. So I am rereading it again, or reading it again. Either way, it's content we're talking about, okay? Because this is a very relevant case, okay? Because I saw Michelle Alien talk about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess the documents are out now. You know what I mean? So, but this was filed last year. But either way, let's continue. The town agreement contained a release of claims to the maximum extent permitted by law, but excuse me, but only as to claims that were directly or indirectly caused by natural acts arising out of or relating to the series. The release explicitly excluded claims for violation of the New York State human rights and executive laws and other claims that may not be released by reason of applicable law. Thus, as accurately previewed by von Mangelwitz, the release in the town agreement was far less encompassing than the release of the chemistry test agreement with which Miss Eady, say that three times, with which. See, right there. Miss Eady had been highly concerned. The town agreement also included specific provisions covering defendant Truly's commitment to anti-discrimination, anti-harassment, anti-retaliation policies. Artists' employment here under shall be subject to studios and networks, other applicable policies and procedures, and may be amended from time to time, including without limitation rules of conduct, such as providing a respectful workplace, including anti-harassment and anti-discrimination um, prohibition or prohibition of violence in the workplace and relating to the consumption of alcohol and drugs, collectively production policies. B is stated that its publicity and confidentiality policy shall not prevent Eady from discussing or disclosing information about unlawful acts in the workplace, such as harassment or discrimination or any other conduct that the artist has reason to believe is unlawful. If artist has reason to believe that conduct violating any state or policy, including but not limited to the respect in the workplace policy, has occurred or is occurring in the workplace, artists is encouraged to report such conduct through the studio's appropriate channels or through the channels provided by the network so it can be properly addressed. Artists will not be retaliated against or in connection with or reporting such conduct. Let me read that two more times. Artists will not be retaliated against for or in connection with reporting such conduct. Artists will not be retaliated against for in connection with reporting such conduct. So basically, if Britt Eady felt anything from this show and what happened to her, she should not be retaliated against. So now, because Bravo and Truly, right, Original want to dismiss this. If you didn't do nothing wrong, why are you trying to dismiss it? If you did nothing wrong, why are you trying to dismiss it? If you did nothing wrong, why are you trying to dismiss it? Because y'all said that Kenya Moore did too fucking damn much, right? So, what it is, cuz, what's up with it? I'm not getting it. In connection with our services, ours may be in an environment where ours may see, hear, or encounter speech or physical contact or otherwise experience sensations that ours or others may consider offensive. Ours shall immediately notify studio if for any reason ours feels harassed due to ours race, nationality, sex, age, disability, sexual orientation, or marital status, threatened or otherwise uncomfortable in connection with our services and artists. Understands that studio shall not authorize anyone else to penalize or retaliate against ours for doing so. Understand that studio shall not authorize anyone else to penalize or retaliate against ours for doing so. Understands that studio shall not authorize anyone else to penalize or retaliate against ours for doing so. So because this was in the talent contract and Bravo Truly Original did not do this, Britt Eady has a really good case. Bravo, if I'm you, I would make sure that deal Portia unnecessarily motherfucking got. Okay? All right? Moving on. Give Britt Eady that contract. Let her be able to make a production company. Let her produce shows for Bravo, NBC Universal. And y'all give her a first look deal. Basically, a first look deal is, hey, you pitch it to us first. If we like it, we will continue to pursue it, everything else. But if we don't like it, then you can shop it around. So give Britt Eady that deal. Give her $50 million. Because you're going to have to pay for this one. You will. You will. And honestly, sue Kenya Moore for every fucking thing she got. What? You big mad? You upset? You feel offended? I don't give a fuck. She did Revenge P on national television. Now, God forbid if her daughter Brooklyn has that happen to her one day. That's just like Milagro Graham saying that man didn't get raped by Don McClurkin. Did you down 9-1, hesitate on the last one? God forbid Milagro Graham's daughters get raped one day. Not wishing that on her daughters, of course. But good damn, it's just like, do I have to take it personal in order for us to understand where we are right now? To talk about this shit don't make no sense. Like I said, understands that the studio shall not authorize anyone else to penalize or retaliate against artists doing so. The talent agreement, rather, selected New York laws governing law, and the parties agreed to venue and jurisdiction in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, in New York County, and the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. Each signed a talent agreement on April 19, 2024. On May 10th, 2024, 3 days before filming, Jacob Hongren, Director, Business and Legal Affairs at Defendant Truly, sent Eady and each other castmate or every other castmate rather, an email entitled Truly Original Anti-Violence and Anti-Harassment Policies. And the body of the email read in part highlights, please review Truly's respect in the workplace policy and talent legal guidelines before filming resumes on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Attached to the email was a document referred to in the talent agreement. Truly Original LLC respecting the workplace policy. Truly Original respecting the workplace policy. The Truly respecting the workplace policy outlined a series of robust and specific commitments for defendant Truly to avoid sexual harassment and retaliation, including the following: Truly is committed to provide a professional, respectful work environment where everyone is treated fairly and with dignity. In support of this commitment, the company prohibits discrimination, harassment, bullying, and retaliation in the workplace or work-related settings, and that includes, events associated with Bravo and directly associated events with Bravo, like BravoCon, for example. This policy applies to the company's applicants and employees, um, co-workers, supervisors, and managers. And as used in this policy, the term employee includes contractors and volunteers in the workplace. In addition, this policy applies to conduct at work and in work-related settings, whether on company premises or off-site, and whether during or outside regular work hours. This includes work-related travel, so the media press tours, on production locations or social events with colleagues, including vendors or other business partners, and on social media sites. Harassment prohibited. Harassment prohibited. Harassment prohibited. And you put that in all caps. Come on now. Come on. Come on. We being this stupid because we don't know how to be intelligent. We're just doing this to just CYA cover our ass. What are we doing? Truly Original and Bravo. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here? Okay. Harassment is a type of discrimination and includes conduct that creates a disrespectful, intimidating, hostile, degrading, or offensive work environment for another individual based on one or more protected characteristic. It stated that harassment can be verbal and significantly visual, such as the posting or distribution of offensive posters, symbols, cartoons, drawings, peer displays, or emails. Offensive posters. I do believe that image was on a poster board. Mm-hmm. 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 And then the emails and text messages. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Sexual harassment is generally categorized in two types: quid pro quo harassment and hostile work environment harassment. It stated that quid pro quo harassment could be submission to sexual conduct is made explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of an individual's employment, or submission to or rejection of conduct by an employee is used as the basis for employment decisions affecting the employee. The policy defines hostile work environment harassment as conduct that has the purpose or effect of reasonably interfering with an employee's work performance or of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment due to or based on gender. One example it listed was displaying disturbingly sexually suggestive or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters, or any such items. Let me read that two more times. One example it listed was displaying or distributing sexually suggestive or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters, or any such items. One example it listed was displaying or distributing sexually suggestive, derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters, or any such items. The fact that Truly Original gave this to Britt Eady and every cast member, including Kenya Moore knew that this was in the policy. So she really can't get out of this shit. Like I said, she's a more famous version of Milagro Grams. It knows that other types of conduct may constitute sexual harassment under this policy or applicable law. Retaliation prohibited. Retaliation prohibited. Retaliation prohibited. So harassment is prohibited. Retaliation is prohibited. You cannot display or disturbingly suggestive or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters of any such items. This is locked, signed, sealed, and delivered. Like, for real, this is how it's looking to me.
What is this feeling that everyone's feeling?
Ding, ding, ding.
With such feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This winning feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This tingle of success.
Ding, ding, ding.
This sensation of triumph.
Ding, ding, ding.
This.
Oh, I can feel it.
This season, everyone gets the winning feeling. Win guaranteed prizes like $250 grand and more. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Ding, ding, ding. Hello. Like, Bravo, Truly Original, Kenya Moore. Y'all are fucked. Okay? Just know that you are completely fucked. Like, it's in the paperwork, right? Britt Eady was not losing her rabbit ass mind when she wanted protection during the chemistry test, right? And so because y'all say retaliation is prohibited, because harassment is prohibited, honestly, Angel really could feel this way about Giselle, Ashley, Wendy, and Stacey if she really wanted to. Throw Monique in there too. Throw Jazzy in there too. Now, Giselle has not done Revenge P as of yet. I'm sure that is to come because Giselle is that despicable of a bitch and will probably do it on the upcoming season of Potomac. I'm sure of it. Is she going to hide Robin's story for the whole season and go after everybody else? Remember, Chris, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Revenge P is next for Giselle. I promise you that. And she ain't going to do shit about it. It's called freedom of fucking speech, okay? All right. Moving on. That made no fucking damn sense. I'm just saying. You saw the thumbnail. You know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here. I keep it real with you. Straight no chaser. We don't get around corners. We put the foot on the gas pedal and be about it. The company strictly prohibits retaliation against any individual who in good faith raises a concern internally or to an appropriate government agency or tribunal about or otherwise opposes discrimination, harassment, bullying, or retaliation or other behavior. This policy prohibits even if the concern proves to be unfounded or the investigation is inconclusive. Prohibited retaliation, it explained, includes demotion, suspension, threats of discharge, or other adverse employment action or other harassment or intimidation as a result of reporting concern or participating in an investigation as described above. So remember how, the producers were saying that if you don't participate, there could be diminished screen time and diminished pay. Let me play that video one more time.
What is this feeling that everyone's feeling?
Ding, ding, ding.
With such feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This winning feeling.
Ding, ding, ding.
This tingle of success.
Ding, ding, ding.
This sensation of triumph.
Ding, ding, ding.
This
Oh, I can feel it.
This season, everyone gets the winning feeling. Win guaranteed prizes like 250 grand and more. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, motherfucking ding. There's no way to get out of this. You got to pay her $50 million. You have to. She was wrongfully disrespected. And we all know if Kenya Moore, right? If Kenya Moore had this done to her, she will be suing in the same damn fashion. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit from Team Twirl because where is Team Twirl at now? Ain't nowhere to be found. Team Twirl got sprayed with Raid of the Truth and they dead. It looks like Kenya needed Bravo more than Bravo needed her. What a shocking concept. Just days before filming, Cox told Eady rather that this season of Road would be glamorous, emphasize fashion, and have a fun Sex in the City meets Sunset vibe with less drama. So here we go with Kenya Moore, everybody. Kenya Moore, a former RHOA castmate in a classic attempt at Revenge P, sexually harasses Eady by publishing a pornographic photograph purportedly depicting Eady during a filmed cast event. By the way, everybody, like I said before, Kenya went to her hair salon and said, I'm not going to say anything until 100,000 viewers, get on. Then, of course, the Kenya Moore confessions thing that happened. But then she went on Townhall and finally admitted that she took it too far, that she was trying to defend her child. Brooklyn had nothing to do with this shit. People love Brooklyn more than you. Not gonna go after your mother, because that situation is very, trying for you, right? That your mother rejected you. Okay, I'm not gonna do that to you, because that's very hurtful that your mom would turn you away, right? But child, no, you don't get to just do what you want to do and don't think there's not consequences for what you do. On May 13th, 2024, filming for season 16 Road began. During filming, Eady developed an interpersonal dispute with longtime cast member Kenya Moore. Information and belief, Moore has signed a talent agreement with defendant Truly that was nearly identical to Eady's, except that her rate of pay was higher due to her tenure. On Information and belief, in the spring of 2024, Moore began to develop a concept for a new hair salon that she wanted to open in Atlanta, Georgia. Moore then used the platform of Road to promote the launch of the salon. Specifically on June 6, 2024, Eady, producers from defendants' companies, and other employees of defendants filmed material for an episode of Roa during the opening of Moore Salon here after the salon event. On Information and belief, Moore Salon qualified as a featured arts business of her talent agreement, which means that the business achieves a certain amount of revenue, Moore will be required to pay the network a portion of that revenue. So basically, I think it's about 10%. So, Skinny Girl was promoted from Bethany Frankel on Bravo, so she had to keep paying 10% to Bravo. So 10%, but you keep the 90. So you make it do what it do, right? But that 10% does add up over time. On Information and belief, the salon event occurred on 8 premises and was an activity for which Moore owned or controlled all such access rights, and therefore, under the terms of Moore's talent agreement, she irrevocably granted the network's access, including without limitation permission to film and otherwise make recordings in and of the salon event. The salon event was described to cast members as an all-cast event, which meant every cast member was required to attend. For Information and belief, Moore also invited various members of the media to attend the salon event, including prominent bloggers. So she doesn't like bloggers talking about her, but yes, she invited prominent gossip bloggers. Things that make you go, oh my Lord. I'm trying to think, how would that be personified in a meme? Oh, I think it would look something a little like this.
It's not just feeding the hungry only on Thanksgiving. It's an everyday situation. You know what I mean? This is 265 days a year.
That is funny. 265 days? Where the hell that bitch live at?
It's not just...
Well, that bitch, Kenya Revenge P. Moore, lives in Atlanta. We do know that name. Shout out to Nene Leaks. On Information and belief, defendants require Moore to submit a guest list in advance of the salon event and have the power to approve or deny any proposed guests on Moore's list, meaning that the defendants knew and approved the presence of these additional members of the media. Prior to the salon event, Eady expressed to the producers that she did not want to attend because of the interpersonal conflict that had developed between herself and Moore. Each believed that her attendance at the salon event will cause an unwanted escalation of tension between herself and Moore. In response, Shane Humphrey, a ROA producer, who, on information and belief, was employed by defendant Trulia Allrow for times that argument with Eady in Eady's home and told Eady in some substance that it was her job to attend the salon event and it was mandatory that she did not have a choice. Eady, in response, said she was not ready for the drama during the salon event would entail round. She felt like it was a setup, and she was terrified that her attendance at the salon event would cause tensions to escalate further. Humphrey responded in some substance that it did not matter how Eady felt if it was not on camera. Prior to the salon event, Eady also spoke to a human resource representative, an HR representative from defendant Truly, who advised her in some substance that it was possible that Moore would want to do something to embarrass Eady at the salon, but Eady that should go anyway and leave quickly. So HR told her that it was possible that Kenya could do something to embarrass her, but gave her the go-ahead to go anyway and leave quickly. So HR supported Britt Eady being villainized, but also gave her an out. So whoever those human resource representatives are, they're going to have to come to the carpet. Despite the conflict between Eady and Moore, defendants require Eady to appear at the salon event and represented to Eady that she could be fired if she did not attend. Each cast member was required to wear a microphone provided by defendants during the filming of the salon event. Employees of defendants circulated at the salon event to ensure that the microphones were functional and to replace batteries as needed. So, when you guys saw everybody in their vehicles go into the salon event, they have those vehicles rigged up hours before, right? And there is a mic check for everybody before they put cameras up and start rolling. So, also present at the salon event were numerous other employees of defendants, including at least one director, multiple operators, for approximately 10 cameras that recorded various angles and spaces in the event. In total, approximately 200 people attended the salon event live, not live like we're live right now, but live in real time at that event, including cast members of Row, their family and friends, and other employees or representatives of the defendants. Eady arrived at the salon event at the time scheduled by defendants' Truly production team and left shortly after. After he left the salon event, Moore began to give a speech during the event to the event's attendees. Rather than focus her speech on the salon that she was opening, however, Moore was unusually focused her comments on Eady, making a variety of statements about Eady, including false and derogatory statements about her profession, character rather, and personal sexual history. Moore displayed poster boards, which you're not supposed to showcase any photos on posters because it was in that workplace harassment policy by Truly Original that you got Kenya Moore in an email. Yeah. You done fucked up, right? You done fucked up, right? Let's keep going. Oh, my Lord Jesus, which includes shocking derogatory accusations about Eady concerning actual photographs of Eady, and as alleged further below, at least one explicit photograph that purported to depict Eady, but in which reality it did not. More state, I did some research and found out who this bitch was. Well, it takes a bitch to know a bitch, Kenya, and you wouldn't know about being a bitch, wouldn't you? Moving on. Listen, Kenya Moore said bitch to Brit, okay? I am using it in a context, conjecture, and connection of what we're talking about. I'm not calling Kenya Moore a bitch. I'm just saying it takes a bitch to know a bitch. And Kenya Moore would be a bitch who would know what being a bitch is about, to know another bitch. That's all I'm saying. My God. Moving on, suggested that the statements would follow were facts that have been discovered by Moore. Moore also said that she had private investigators research Edie, that she was shown what they had found. Moore then displayed 4 poster boards concerning Edie. One of the poster boards contained text, "Who is this hoe?" You know, there was a person who said hoe, and now they're caught up in a lawsuit by not just saying sorry, taking down a video, and moving forward. But hey, listen, the only person I know that can say hoe and have great style and, you know, some flair is Karen Huger's wig. I got your wig, I got your wig, ho. Ah, you mad at Wigiana. Shout out to Karen Huger's wig. Excellent content creator, child. Excellent. Well, damn, Louie. Let's continue. And contains several photographs depicting Edie. Moore pointed to each photograph on this poster board and stated Britt Eady is her name. It's the same girl. Moore also referred to Edie as a trap video hoe, implying that Edie was currently or formerly engaged in prostitution. Give me a moment. So were you not video vixen? You didn't do that smooth cover? You didn't do a whole YouTube video behind the scenes of your shoot? Pot meet kettle. See, all I'm doing is utilizing public information. That's it. That's all. You know what I mean? Whether Kenya Moore says she knows who this bitch is, or if Monique Samuels called herself a binder bitch, recognize I'm utilizing their words, everybody. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at your favorites. Because they're the smart ones, right? Say it, no one ever. God, I can't. Moving on. Oh, implying that Edie was currently or formerly engaged in prostitution. Edie has never engaged in prostitution, and Moore's statement to contrary was false. As the crowd watched, Moore continued to make false statements regarding Edie's purported sexual history, saying Brittany does escort. She charged $1,400 per appointment. As stated above, these statements were false because Edie has never engaged in prostitution. More egregiously, however, Moore then displayed the poster board, which you cannot display graphic images on posters, and that includes poster boards. Once again, it was in that workplace policy email that was given out to every cast member, including Kenya Moore. Yeah. Wasn't you the one that said coochie crack? And wasn't you flirting with somebody else's married man? I mean, listen, you the one that did on national television. I'm just talking about your ass. Moving on. More egregiously, however, Moore then displayed a poster board that contained several photographs of Edie in revealing outfits. In the instance that is the center of this lawsuit, a graphic photograph of a woman purported to be engaging in sexual act with another person. Specifically, the photograph depicted a woman performing fellatio on a man, although the woman's face in the photograph is clearly depicted, as is the sex act that she was performing. The man's face is not depicted. Moore represented to the crowd that Eady was the woman depicted in the explicit photograph. In reality, however, the explicit photograph did not depict Eady, but instead depicted a different unknown woman performing fellatio on another unknown person, and or was deepfake. Once again, the more famous version of Milagograms, ladies and gentlemen. On information and belief, Moore knew knew or should have known that the photograph did not actually depict Eady. Moore's conduct violate defendants' truly sexual harassment policies, which prohibits, for example, displaying or disturbing the sexual, suggestive, or derogatory objects, pictures, cartoons, or posters of any such items. Clock that T. Clock that T. Clock that T. Yes. Moreover, the foregoing conduct of Moore constitute at the minimum an attempt to violate the revenge P laws in Georgia. See Georgia Code 161190, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions, in New York penal law 245.15, unlawful dissemination or publication of an intimate image or information and belief. Moore's entire speech at the salon event, as well as images of all poster boards that Moore displayed, were captured on cameras that the defendants used to film the event. On information and belief, Moore did not exhibit any similar conduct toward any male employees of defendants. Moore's actions were in furtherance of the business of the defendants because Moore acted to create spectacle and drama at an event that was filmed for use on road, that was routinely encouraged and sought after by defendants. Moore's actions were within the scope of her employment with defendant Truly. After Moore displayed the poster board that contained the explicit photograph, by the way, a deep fake is an image or recording that has been conveniently altered and manipulated to misrepresent someone as doing or saying something that was not actually done or said. That's from Merriam-Webster's Dictionary. Similarly, earlier this year, the Federal Taken Down Act was enacted into law, which makes the non-consensual publication of images, including fakes, a federal crime. Now, Kenya Moore says she went to a lawyer. Child, this is a federal act that was enacted into law. I'm guessing your lawyer is just as dumb as you are. You play dumb games, you win dumb prizes, bitch. Moving on. Multiple other cast members and attendees of the salon event expressed strong disapproval of Moore's actions and left the event early out. Discussed cast member Shamia Moore and said, I could not believe my eyes. So cast member said it was too far. Cast member Portia Williams later said, I'm mortified. I did not want to stand. There, it seemed like I was in agreement with this. I don't support this. Cast member Shamia Moore said, but this is too much. Cast member Angela Oakley said, I empathize with it because I can only imagine the pain that it may cause anyone who was exposed that way. In reaction to the shocking events, Williams said she did not want to be on camera and Moore asked the defense to remove her mic, and like she was never even at this event. Well, child, we know that you only believe 265 days exist in a year, but you were there. You were on camera. Going on. Indeed, the salon event ended early and immediately after Moore demonstrated the photo due to more shocking behavior. The shock expressed disapproval and immediate departure of these castmates demonstrate that none of those castmates expected this type of behavior to occur during their employment with defendant Truly or their involvement in the show. Cast member Kelly Farrell approached Edie in the parking lot of the salon to tell her what happened. She and Edie sat in a car, did not allow the cameras to follow in the privacy of her car. Farrell said that Moore had shown photographs of Edie naked performing sex, adding that Moore said that Edie had engaged in prostitution. Edie asked Farrell for more detail about the photograph, but Farrell stated that she had left soon as the explicit photograph was shown and did not get a good look. Pharrell was mistaken that the explicit photograph depicted Eady. After this interaction, Eady and Pharrell left the van. The two producers approached Eady, apologized for Moore's conduct. Eady left the location before the cast exited the salon. Now, I'm gonna just say this: better be lucky I wasn't Brittany Eady's husband. Hey, I need all the female family members to roll up to Kenya Moore Salon. Hey, good to see you. I need everybody to get the fuck out. Out right now. If you care about your fucking mental health, get the fuck out right now. Lock the doors. Kenya, meet some people. Y'all handle it. I would have walked away. Braylon, what's going on? Don't worry about it. Family being police right now. Don't worry about it. Y'all ain't gonna do shit for my wife, so I'm gonna have to do it. Moving on. That hair spa would have been burned to the fucking ground that same day, had it been me. And Kenya would have been lucky that she would have gotten out. Okay? All right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Right, that's extreme. Would you burn Kenya Moore up in the slum? Fuck no! I would have the females of the family give her a lesson. Then we would, make it do what it do. And I would get some lighter fluid. The men will come in, make it do what it do. Then we will burn. We'll take Kenya Moore out the salon. Good damn. Not that much of an asshole. Jesus. Moving on. Like I said, everything's allegedly, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Now listen. I know that sounds extreme, but this woman did Revenge P on national television. Let that have been your sister, your daughter, right? Your wife, your best friend, your cousin, your niece, your grandmother, your mother, any woman you know. Okay? I got a feeling why I just said was very light compared to what other people do. Because here's the thing. Kenya Moore believes that she goes to Burger King that she's a queen, when she would not know the work it would take to actually be an actual queen. Okay? All right, let's roll on. Based on representation of Pharrell on the other end, and the producers, Eady believed that the explicit photograph depicted her. Eady currently does not have knowledge of how Moore obtained the photograph. She displayed the false information that she disseminated at the salon. However, prior to the salon, the defendant truly possessed the knowledge of false rumors concerning Eady's sexual history that circulated at forums. Eady reports the incident at the salon led to defendants and defendants' conduct and me investigation. This has been more from the show a week later. Following the incident, Eady specifically immediately reported Moore's harassing conduct to defendants. Indeed, on June 7th of 2024, the day after the salon event, Eady texts Royal producers the statutory language of OGCA 161190, Georgia's Revenge P law, and later texted and later that day, texted those same producers, now I need to know everything that was on those posters for legal reasons. That day, defendant Truly executives, including Houghton, Lawson, Cox, and Humphreys, called Eady to discuss the incident. For information and belief, Houghton, Lawson, and Cox called Eady from their offices in New York while Humphrey was in Atlanta. During the call, Eady was distraught and emotional, and she had every right to be. She asked what producers were going to do about what happened to her. Houghton Lawson said they were going to investigate the incident and get it handled. Cox apologized for the incident, and Eady said that he could take as much time off as she needed. On the call, Humphrey said she had no idea what more planned. Eady was skeptical because Humphrey knew that Eady did not want to attend the event. The salon event had pushed Eady to go that pushed Edie to go. On call, Edie asked to see the photographs of Moore at display. Halton, Lawson, Cox, and Humphrey said it was too soon, that they would have to review the footage and investigate. Soon after the incident, Edie had seen posts on Instagram and other social media sites discussing the incident at the salon event. Bloggers and media organizations began contacting Edie for a comment on the Edie was also the subject and target of harassing comments on social media. Additionally, online rumors were fueled by the post of cast member Drew Sidora, who generally confirmed the post on Twitter, the incident at the salon event. During the call after the salon event, Edie reported to Halton, Lawson, Cox, and Humphrey about these online posts, media outreach, and harassment she received, as well as Sidora's post. Soon after the salon event, audio recording taken at the event allowed Edie to hear exactly what Moore said, what Moore had said during the event. On information and belief, defendants reviewed the footage of Moore's speech and the poster board she displayed and conducted an investigation. Within a week of the June 6th, 2024 incident, defendants suspended Moore from the film in the 16th season of Roa, specifically due to her representation of the graphic on a graphic photo reportedly depicted Edie. Indeed, on or around June 14, 2024, well before any episode C16 aired, a source associated with Roa made the following statement to Aaron Tonight. Kenya was suspended for allegedly depicting Brittany performing a sexual act at the grand opening of Kenya Moore Hair Spa in Atlanta from images allegedly found online. The network is still reviewing the content Kenya displayed during filming, as she previewed the day after the incident. In the weeks and months that followed, Edie repeatedly told the show's producer that she intended to seek legal relief containing more sexual harassment and legal use of revenge plea against her. Defendants thus knew Moore's representation of that photograph was not just potentially illegal, but also beyond the bounds of the show, their own internal rules and expectations of its participants and fans. As Moore confirmed in a YouTube video she posted on April 19th, 2025, Moore was forced to engage in local friends to seek advice about her actions, in particular where they had violated revenge plea laws. Despite suspending Moore for horrific sexual harassment of Edie, defendants themselves sexually harassed Edie by soliciting a film discussion of the salon incident for months, forcing Edie to discuss and reference her sexual history on camera and effectively air the incident the following year. Despite Cox's assurance the day after the salon event that Edie could take off as much time as she needed, only 2 to 3 days later, Humphrey began calling Edie and telling her that she needed to go back to work and she would not get paid if she did not resume filming. So in the policy, they said that this would not happen, that you would not be retaliated against if you did not want to do something. So I'm going to need all those producers to come to the carpet. Come to the carpet. Come to the motherfucking ass carpet. Moving on. Holy. During this time, 2 other castmates had informed Edie that defendants had been filming them discussing the incident at the salon event. Due to the significant time commitment demanded from her during the filming of Roa, Edie did not have time to focus on her other business. Her only significant source income at this time was her per episode pay for Roa. Edie did not want to resume filming or discussing the incident on camera, but she was repeatedly and persistently pressured by defendants to do so. Producers encouraged Edie to be as emotional as possible to get on camera, meaning to discuss the incident at the salon event in detail. Producers encouraged Edie to take control of the narrative by discussing the incident and said in some substance, the better we get this out, the better the fans will. Understand and have empathy with you. Cox spread the situation to the Kim Kardashian sex tape, meaning that she used the salon event incident for positive publicity, despite encouraging E to discuss the incident on camera. Defendants did not inform E that the explicit photograph did not depict her, nor did they allow Edie to view the photograph that Moore had displayed. In other words, defendants allowed E to believe the photograph did depict her, which it did not. In the face of this pressure, Edie repeatedly and consistently told the defendants that she was not comfortable discussing the incident at the salon event. Edie also informed Cox and Humphrey that she found it extremely difficult to discuss the incident from her family. Defendants, however, coerced Edie into discuss the photograph and the incident on camera, including in front of her family. Not only did they collectively pressure her into thinking that it was in her best interest to do so, but they also effectively told her that she would get little to no camera time and potentially no payment if she did not do so. Faced with this immense and coordinated campaign, Edie also gave in to the pressure to discuss the incident during Edie's first filming day after the salon event, which came after several days of defendants pressuring Edie to discuss the incident despite her protestations. Producers employed by defendant Truly filmed Edie discussing the incident with her husband and with Pharrell. On camera, Edie discussed both reaction to the incident, saying, "I have had all of Kenya's millions, my friends, my colleagues, my business partners DMing me. I began to text more, doesn't even realize the damage she caused because Edie was falsely led to believe that the explicit photograph depicted her. And because of pressure from producers, Edie was also forced to discuss sexual history and do so on camera. The producers also orchestrated a conversation between Edie and her mother on the same day, which was filmed. The producers pressured Edie to speak to her mother about the incident at the salon event, and by doing so, to discuss her sexual history with her mother on camera during an extremely sensitive and vulnerable time. Edie also discussed on camera the emotional and psychological effect that the public response to the incident had caused, stating this ordeal has definitely taken a toll on my mental health 100%. Every time I get on social media, there's an article on this. Everything when you look up my name is now a situation you can't remove what's now on the internet. So I'm going to have my guard because I just don't know what to expect from this. Group of ladies. During this period, Edie repeatedly had sessions with one of the defendant's psychiatrists, Dr. Alexander Herbosch, to discuss the trauma of the salon event. So basically, most of these reality shows now have a therapist, but of course, you gotta be careful what you say a therapist because they can use that against you with the network. Yeah, I'm saying that to you, Bravo. Yes, y'all would take that private information from Dr. Elish Herbach. You, Bravo, and Truly Original will use that against Britt Eady. Yes, I'm calling y'all fucking out. After Edie restarted filming, Edie tried to learn more from crew members about what exactly Moore had shown poster boards on set. Edie had asked Cox if she could see the footage of the event, showing the poster boards Moore had displayed. Cox responded that the footage was probably a problem that she could not show to Edie, which is bullshit. If I'm in that, that is me. No, I'm seeing it regardless. Cox's assertion was not sensible because Edie was subject to a confidentiality agreement and because provisional versions of the episode's content were routinely shared with all participants prior to airing. All information, I believe crew members had also been instructed not to substantially discuss the incident at the salon event with Edie. On set, Edie asked crew members if they had captured footage of the poster boards. In response to Edie questions, crew members say they only stopped filming before Moore brought out the poster boards. So there's Kenya Moore right there, right, with the poster board. I'm going to go back up here in a minute. These statements were obviously false, was obviously nonsensical and false, perhaps shown most clearly by the fact defendants ultimately aired certain footage of the poster boards in the episodes they aired the following year. During filming and moments of privacy, Edie's castmates continued to discussed the incident at the salon event with her in late June after filming of an episode on location in Nashville. Cast member told E that another cast member, Sador, had given more of the information to use on the poster board. Information believed this conversation was not filmed, as alleged below. Defendants again forced E to discuss the incident at the salon event months later while filming confessional statements after the main taping of the series ended. So there is this thing called confessionals. Now, sometimes they'll tape it after something happened. Most of the time, after the season's over, they'll showcase the footage and then they'll retape the confessionals and then they'll merge the confessionals with the footage and then you get the episodes. Okay, so. More information and belief, despite Edie's clear anguish from the salon event and protestations of more sexual harassment, defendants encourage, facilitate other castmates to make unwanted, highly offensive, sexually explicit comments to Edie on camera. Or around June 18, 2024, castmate Drew Sidora asked Edie, "Did you ever sell it, the cat, for into prostitution?" Now, Drew, somebody can say, have you ever told the truth about anything, or do you just lay down and lie? Okay, all right. Now, we all know, Ralph is a piece of shit, but come on now. Come on. My Lord Jesus. On or around July 5th, 2024, castmate Angela Oakley told E that she had stretch marks and miles around her mouth, referring to fellatio. Child, at least Britt Eady was getting it in. Charles, you was upset with Charles that he didn't even recognize you for your anniversary. Do you miss me? Yeah. At least, not Angela Child, but at least Britt Eady was claiming somebody. Cast member Shamia Moore repeatedly told E that she was a whore on camera, including or around August 14th, 2024. I remember the motion that Shamia made when they asked her, "What did you do for Gerald?" And that looked like coarse behavior. And then we saw what you did to Portia Williams. So, were you a whore of being destructive as a friend and just prostituting yourself just so you could get camera time, so you would destroy friendships? Shamia Moore, don't do that shit. I'm sorry if I hurt you. Looking off into the wind. Child. These comments violate, among other things, defendants' truly workplace right to RITW policy on information and belief. Defendants ignore remedial action against these. Castmates sexual harassment. Edie Rowa confessional segments were filmed between September 2024 and March 2025. All confessionals were filmed in a studio in Atlanta. During the filming of confessionals, producers requested cast members discuss the events of each episode as though they just happened to give the impression that confessionals were filmed contemporaneously with the rest of the series. During the filming of confessionals, producers will also give cast members information and details they had not had before in order to prompt a response, despite Edie again saying to producers in no uncertain terms that she did not want to further discuss the incident at the salon event. During these confessionals, Cocky pressured Edie to discuss the incident in detail, be emotional as possible about the incident, and refer to sexual history in the segments. Edie again gave into the pressure from Cox because she did not want to lose her job. At Rowa or lose her opportunity to receive bonuses on information and belief between the beginning of filming and March 9th of 2025. Defendant Bravo edited footage obtained of filming of the cast-produced episodes for Rowa. 16th season of Rowa premiered on March 9th, 2025. On information and belief, defendant Bravo was responsible for all decisions regarding editing of the episodes, creating and distributing advertisements for the series, and ultimately airing of the episodes. On information and belief, each episode wrote each advertisement for Row was edited and broadcasted from New York City prior to the premiere. Defendants produced and released promotional material for the new season that referenced the incident at the salon event to stir up drama and to the late viewers. For example, on January 30th, 2025, Bravo posted a video to his YouTube channel titled Sneak Peek Your First Look at Real Housewives of the Mass Season 16. The video included a picture of Moore at the salon displaying a poster to guest saying, "Who's this whole Brittany Eady?" is her name, followed by shots of guests at the event gasping. Next scene, cut to the picture of Eady. Pride say she thinks that this is okay. Take it together. The scene is clear to pit or making harmful statements about Eady. The premiere of season 16 of Roa introduced Eady by making reference to one of the most humiliating aspects of the aftermath of the salon event, specifically while other cast members were introduced by references to their marriages and friendships. First line spoke about Eady that was she was show all, but second everything changed. I had to talk about sucking dick with my mother. On April 7, 2025, episode 5 of Roa aired, and the broadcast significant portions of more sexually harassing behavior at the salon event. In particular, the episode depicting more say I did a little research and found out who this bitch is. Once again, it takes a bitch like you to know another bitch. Okay, now Kenya Moore said bitch in that statement. I'm repeating her words. Moving on. And displaying poster boards contain blurred out photographs with some visible text. The episode showed a poster board that read, "Who is this hoe?" accompanied by photographs that were blurred out. Nevertheless, the episode depicts more points of the blurred photographs, stating Brittany is her name. It's the same girl. The episode next show more, stating that her private investigators found more evidence for me displaying another poster board. Second poster board was also displayed with blurred photographs. As the poster board was displayed, the episode showed more staying in reference to Eady. She used to be a video hoe. She used to be a trap video hoe. And once again, it takes a hoe to know a hoe. Kenya Moore. Just want to put that up. Okay. All right, moving on. She used to be a video hoe. She was a trap video hoe. The next episode depicted more staying. They kept sending me information, holding up another poster board. Contents of the poster board were not visible on the episode. The episode then depicts gasps and shock from the guests at the salon event. Next, the episode cuts to a black screen containing the text saying, due to the graphic nature of these photographs, Bravo has chosen not to exhibit them. Despite obscenely claiming that the photographs are too graphic to display, defendants edited the episode not only to describe in detail what was depicted, but to imply the graphic photograph actually depicted Eady. Specifically, immediately after the bus screen display of voiceover, the unknown cast member played, in which the cast member said, "Ain't nobody trying to see this girl suck nobody dick." That's just so crazy. But God forbid if it was you being shown for revenge, Pete. God forbid, God fucking forbid if it was you. Thus, even though the episode did not depict the photograph itself, the defendant's editing of the episode clearly represented to viewers that Moore had displayed a photograph that depicted Eady perform fellatio. In both clips of the incident and confessional portions filmed thereafter, cast members expressed their mortification and shock that explicit photographs purported to be of Eady were displayed at the conclusion of the episode. The black screen what was displayed that contained the text based on King's behavior. The decision was made to cease filming with her this season. During the week of April 7th, 2025, Eady was required by defense to travel to New York to appear on Watch What Happens Live, a show broadcast on Bravo in which cast members of Bravo's reality television franchise discussed recent episodes with producer Andy Cohen. During the 3 days she was required to be in New York City, Eady also did several interviews with New York City-based media outlets pursuant to Bravo's scheduled itinerary. While Eady was in New York City, road producers including Cox and Burskar invited Eady to have dinner with them privately. While at dinner, Eady asked Cox and Burskar if she could see the actual poster footage within the poster boards. Moore had displayed. Cox and Burskar replied that they thought they could make it happen, but did not indicate they would take any steps to show Eady the photograph, nor did they take any such steps. In fact, despite each request to defendants to see the photograph displayed at the salon event, none of the defendants or their employees or agents ever showed Eady the photograph or any recordings or images of the poster board that contained the photograph. At the same dinner in New York City, Costa and Broscar told Eady that she was approved to appear on season 17 of Raw. However, Cox and Broscar also informed Eady at the same time the show planned to bring Moore back for season 17, despite what Moore had done. Indeed, Cox and Broscar even asked Eady how she would feel about filming with Moore for season 17, and then they asked him unequivocally suggesting that it was not choice for Eady, but that she wanted to continue filming for season 17, and she would have to do it alongside Moore. Eady was mortified and traumatized to learn at this dinner that defendants were still inclined to employ Moore after Moore had egregiously sexually harassed her, and that they were willing to subject Eady to work with Moore again. Eady was equally horrified and traumatized to learn at this dinner that defendants were actually conditioning Eady's continued employment season 17 on her working with Moore. Her harasser. Oh wait, that says ass and harasser. So is Kenya Moore an ass? Yes, she is. Each of the participants at that dinner knew that Eady had suffered significant emotional distress from Moore's harassing actions, yet they assisted Eady appearing on the next season with Moore. Eady was faced with a decision to continue employment with Moore or to walk away from Roa entirely. As alleged above, she chose to allow April 15, 2025, episode 6 of the 6th season of Roa air. Episode 6, not season 6, but episode 6 depicted Eady speaking about the incident at the salon event and discussing her sexual history, which Eady would not have done had the defendants not forced her to resume filming and pressured her to discuss these topics while she was in a vulnerable state and emotional state in or around late of May 2025. Eady heard from fellow castmate the two castmates, Trina Moore and Kelly Farrell, who previously called Eady a whore on camera, were planning to falsely accuse Eady of having undergone vaginal rejuvenation surgery with forged medical documentation at the reunion in June 2025. And that's why Shamia's back is all the way fucked up, rather. You're going to do this, and now your back is fucked up, you bitch. And Kelly Farrell, you can't pay your bills on time. You fighting with neighbors and shit. Look how karma spun the block on both of you heifers. And heifer means a cow before y'all get on to me. Stop it. See, that's the problem. The reason why lies live It's because y'all allow the truth to fucking die. But God forbid if it was any one of y'all going through this shit. Okay? This false accusation was intended to insinuate that Eady was a prostitute. On May 29, 2025, Eady emailed director Tony Tong of NBC to express her concerns about the ongoing harassment campaign against her. Eady wrote her email the context of the forthcoming filming of the reunion for episode for season 16, which was to be attended by each of the castmates and was scheduled June 5th, 2025. Eady felt like this was an opportunity to try to silence me and that whatever will take place at the reunion is no longer just a work environment, but a hostile smear campaign at best. Eady also had a call with several executives where she reiterated her concerns. In response later that day, Haldren, defendant of Truly's business and legal affairs, who had previously sent defendant Truly's anti-discrimination, anti-retaliation policies to each of the castmates for filming, sent an email to the castmates attaching the Truly original anti-violence policy, but not sending the anti-discrimination, anti-retaliation policies. However, on information and belief, defense did not take any corrective action. In June 2025, Eady for the first time saw a photograph of the poster board more displayed that contained the photograph that was purported to be an explicit image of herself, and she immediately recognized the woman. The photograph was not her because of her concerns of the ongoing sexual harassment and defendant's failure to take corrective action. Eady also declined to appear at the season 16 reunion tape or around June 5th of 2025. And that was her absolute fucking damn right. I would have did the same thing. Actually, as her husband, I would have came out and flamed all of them. I would have not given no fucks about it. Not one. Not fucking one. I would have told Kayla for real, take some chicken or a waffle down your throat and choke on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. I would have told Shamia Morton that, child, just because you drive a Rolls Royce doesn't mean that you have a Honda Civic soul. Shout out to the Honda Civic. It's a great sedan, but basically, child, you a basic bitch. Oh, I would have flamed and not given a fuck. You don't get to do that to a woman and then don't think y'all ass don't get to get called out for shit. And then we wonder why Black women go over to other races because they don't feel protected. Most disrespected race is the Black woman. The fuck wrong with y'all? Oh God. Because of her action. Oh yeah, we already read all that. For example, Eady feared that castmates Moore and Pharrell will harass her by falsely accusing her having undergone vaginal rejuvenation surgery, calling her a prostitute. Eady was scheduled for another tape of Watch What Happens Live in New York on June 9th, 2025, but felt compelled to decline in light of the aftermath of the airing of the incident at the salon event and the ongoing sexual harassment of her at the taping, which aired live cast with Truth Sador. The world wants to know, are you a hoe and did you sell it? See, better be lucky I wasn't a guest. I'm like, Drew, question. When Ralph was down in the basement, did you get any STDs? Because Ralph was irresponsible. See, you gotta match people's energy sometimes. No, I don't give a fuck. No. I would not have given a fuck if Andy Cohen said, hey, you're doing too much. You know what? I'm doing too much. You're executive producer. You handle this shit. You handle this bitch. I bet you Drew Sidora would have shut the fuck up and never would have said shit to Braylon Lee on Twitter. I bet you that much. Moving on. Andy Cohen looked shocked and responded, okay. On July 4th, 2025, Eady informed the public she would not accept defendants' invitation to return for C-17. I still have a lot of healing to do, but you cannot heal the same place that got you sick. Later that day, she further explained the events of this season had devastated me. Eady declined to pursue appearing on C-17 due to defense effectively conditioning that her employment working with Moore again due to the devastation she suffered at the hands of the defendants following the salon event. The impacts of defense sexual harassment have been widespread and devastating. Had defense not engaged in the conduct they have engaged in following the salon event, Eady would have accepted the invitation to return for C-17 and beyond, would have enjoyed all financial, reputational, and personal benefits that would have provided. As a result, Eady suffered significant damage to her brand and earnings potential. From endorsements, although Eady felt the impact of defense sexual harassment all over the country, and especially in her home base, and she felt a significant impact of that harassment in New York City. As alleged above, certain of the most harassing conduct occurred in person while she was in New York performing her functions as an employee of defendant. Eady's largest following on social media, which she monetizes, and nearly double that of any other geographical region, including Atlanta, is from people based in New York. Eady thus carefully and specifically protects her image, her reputation by New York audiences, and regularly seeks efforts to promote herself in the New York City area. However, Eady was deprived of New York and New York City-based job opportunities with defense because she had returned for C-17, would have taped additional episodes in New York City, including episodes of Watch What Happens Live and the season reunions, which previously been filmed in New York City. Eady was also deprived of other New York City-based opportunities before episode 6 aired. Eady had been in talks with hotels and New York City brands and venues about doing appearances in New York for financial compensation. Eady had particular interest in doing New York-based work because of its lucrative nature and its ability to expand her reach in her most popular geographic area because her husband is from New York City. However, in the aftermath of episode 6 airing, Eady was informed that these venues and brands had no longer interest because concerns with Eady's image following the salon event. Eady thus lost the opportunities as a result of defendant's conduct. Eady has suffered emotional damages and committed physical manifestations in the immediate aftermath of the salon event. Eady experienced severe depressive moods, anxiety, and as felt though she was not going to survive what happened to her. To this day, he experiences severe feelings of depression and anxiety as well as Eady also fears leaving her house, appearing in public due to the humiliation and trauma she experienced. Eady has been unable to receive psychological and psychiatric help because she experiences severe anxiety about her privacy being violated and worries that she attempts to receive medical treatment. Private medical information will be revealed to public and used for her to humiliate her. Eady has lost business opportunities due to her depressive symptoms. Eady has difficulty getting out of bed or leaving the house and therefore missing meetings and other opportunities for business development. Eady has also suffered reputational harm as a result of her public sexual harassment, which has harmed her personal and business relationship, cost her business opportunities, and resulted in a total loss of privacy in her daily life. Y'all, that's pretty much it. That is everything you guys need to know. To me, that's everything right there. To me, this is fucking sad. It's despicable. And it's a downright shame. Brittany should not have lost opportunities in New York because of what Kenya Moore or Kenya Revenge P. Moore did. Fuck Kelly Farrell. Fuck Shamia Morin for wanting to go on national TV and talk about vaginal procedure. Really? Okay, it's a procedure. Have all y'all not gotten work done on yourselves before? I mean, good damn, Kelly Farrell is basically Ashley Darby's twin because they both short, they both are non-existent. Nobody wants to give a fuck about them. Child. They both need enhancements just to look like there's somebody important. And none of y'all are perfect. None of y'all are perfect at all. I hope that Brittany Eady gets everything restored tenfold. And this is why I hope to get famous. To be able to call and be like, fuck everything else we got from here. Because right, wrong is wrong. And y'all see Kenya Moore, how destitute she is right now. She fucking deserves it. It is so amazing to me how everybody can be a one-trick pony and talk about only Carissa Shields, or be a one-trick pony and only talk about Krishan, or be a one-trick pony and only talk about Portia Williams, who only believes that there's 265 days in a year, but will not stand 10 toes down for Britt Eady. Y'all can talk about Melody Cherie and everybody else who's gone through something, but this can't be talked about? Huh? I don't hear no fucking body. I don't hear no bitch or Mitch giving a fuck. Now, if I ain't talking to you, know your role, stay in your place, and drive your fucking speed limit. And I know my mama and dad raised me better to not speak like that. But they also raised me to stand up for what I believe in. They also raised me to let me know that, Bray, do what you can for what you can do and treat people how you want to be treated. There are many destinations that we have talked about where I have swung from the window to the wall, where I felt like, oh my God, this channel could be at risk. But you know why it's never at risk? Because I stick to the prompts. I stick to the energy of what needs to matter. But most of all, I recognize in every destination, just because I haven't been in, doesn't mean I can't give a fuck about it. We've covered Diddy. We've covered Jonathan Majors. We covered Malago Grams. We covered Kelly Price when she said what the fuck she said. We covered Diane McClurkin. We covered Stephon Diggs. We covered Tyler Perry. Right is right, wrong is wrong. He or she who has not sinned cast the first stone. The reason why some gifts make room is because either you work on them, or some of y'all allow people who do wrong, y'all allow their gifts to make room for them, but you don't hold them to account. Always think of the clip of, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you take Grace to the police 20 years ago? Because you don't want to believe it's your brother. That's from Greenleaf. The rest of us are Oprah. The rest of y'all on the other side, y'all Lady Mae. Y'all will condone, allow, and let reign hell, condemnation, and fucking thirsty toxicity. Well, I just hope the hell you cause to others don't come for your fucking vagina. And for the midgets out there, I hope that your tissue don't get damaged from you swinging here, there, everywhere, just so you can get your fucking rocks off. And with that being said, I'm going to turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over 2 hours. Shit. Now, if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to me. But if you would respond to me, it must be true about your bitch ass or your mitch ass to some fucking damn degree. That made no fucking damn sense. Whoo, child. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm going to play this anthem, and then we're going to get on out here, okay? I already did the Daily Motivator during the 6 o'clock show. We'll be back right after this. We're live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power, to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free. Trust and believe it's entertainment, news done our way with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
By the way, everybody, I just want to say this too. For anybody want to get on to me, say I'm doing too much to sound third, I want to show you something real quick. Do you see that thumbnail where it says those kids need to be disrespectfully handled? Those three black pieces of shit. And yeah, I'm calling them that for a fucking damn reason. One of them raped a 12-year-old fucking girl in a garden in Miami, fucking Florida. One of the boys, excuse me, really, he should be reduced to a piece of sperm swallowed by his fucking damn mother, put rocks in her fucking mouth for her not to scream, and then held her down as the other boy held her down. And then I mentioned that the young boy raped the 12-year-old girl for 30 fucking damn minutes. I don't want to hear shit. about who I am, who I should be, and how I should fucking move. Well, I'm doing more than any of you bitches or bitches combined. Now, I'm not saying everybody got to do what I do. I've always stated that. But good damn. We get so caught up in everybody else's shit. But God forbid if it's somebody else's shit that don't relate to us. You see anything? No, I didn't see anything. Until it comes to your fucking doorstep. Whether it's a 12-year-old girl or a grown-ass woman like Brittany Eady, nobody should be abused on national TV or raped in a fucking damn garden. Now, I gotta go. Shit. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special because you were always born a blessing and trust. You may not be where you want to be. By the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Why it's one thing to call yourself, it's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, we'll rise to be great together. Always remember we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life. Or just stand on business. That just because you can do what you want to do doesn't mean that you get to ignore the weight of the world. And remember, if that weight is ever on you, keep that same fucking energy. Make sure the replay is not just for you. Watch it, not just for you. Listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you. I always remember on sea love, you got to give it. On sea love, you got to give it. On sea love, you got to give it. Whatever obstacles you've overcome, whatever success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of you, damn. So finally, y'all listen. It is so fucking damn sad that I'm 31 years old and some of you fucking elders are supposed to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 used to have this energy. It's a fucking damn shame. Some of y'all are closer to the casket to die than at the cradle to start life and becoming somebody important. I don't know how the world got lopsided, but I thank God there's some good people in the world. Because God forbid if some of y'all bitches and mitches were in charge, oh my God, we would still be in the field picking kind, and some of us would be strange fruit. We are our own best tool and our own worst weapon to each other. I'm going, y'all. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way for the day that was, for the day that's coming, for the blessings on the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as culture. I feel the love. Let's send it right back to you. Bye, everybody.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you. And everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken-ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. Like, it doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about.